Hey YouTube, Repo Man 64. Ah, why am I making another video already? I'm making another video because I want to point out that we are in a very high watch time right now. Super high. We have to be paying attention. We have to be watching. A thought came to my head, to my mind, to my brain, that while 717 is super important and it already passed, sunrise in Israel is around 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. The Bible records that tomorrow morning in Israel, which is for us will be like 11 p.m. tonight, is when Jesus rose. Now there's some debate. I was talking with Sabine a little bit, and she says she's going to come out with a video, which she's amazing. So it's going to be a good video. I can hardly wait to see it. She said she's putting it together here pretty soon. But there is a debate on how long Jesus stayed here after he rose. We've discovered, and it seems to be pretty mainstream now, that when Jesus rose, he went to heaven for 7 days. And on the 8th day, he came back and met Thomas in the upper room. When he rose, he told Mary Magdalene, "Don't touch me, for I have not risen to my Father." It wasn't just speaking to her like there was something wrong with her. He was speaking to anyone. The touching was intimate. The next person that would be touching Jesus will be the bride. That will happen. Or that comment is made by Jesus in the morning when Mary Magdalene shows up at the tomb and the stone is moved out of the way, and Jesus is no longer there. So what we're thinking, or what I'm thinking, is that in the morning, 11 p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time for me, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, p.m., Jesus rises. The Bible records that several people saw him. The Bible does not record that anyone touched him. There is one group that was able to touch him, and that's the group that's spoken of in Luke. I believe that Luke represents the church of, and correct me if I'm wrong, I need to look it up, but I believe the one church that God had nothing against was Philadelphia and Laodicea. And I believe those two churches represent the bride and the 144,000. God has nothing against them. So, in the morning, Jesus rises. It is not spoken of in Matthew or Mark where anyone touched Jesus. No one could touch him. He told them not to touch him, for he had not risen to the Father. It is recorded in Luke that they came to him, and I believe it says that they handled him. And of course, that's the bride, and they could. Where did the group, the church, Philadelphia, handle him or touch him? Had to have been in heaven. The bride had to have gone to heaven. The bride was in heaven when that passage was recorded. The bride touched him, just like Jacob, Rachel, and Leah. Jacob woke up in the morning. Again, we have a morning theme. Jesus rises from the grave in the morning. Jacob wakes up in the morning, and he finds that he has Leah, the bride, us. Rachel's who he loves. He loves Israel. He always has. They just won't listen to him. They won't understand who he is. They know he was a prophet. They know he healed people, but they are refusing to know that Jesus, aside from several, there are several that do know that he is God, that he is Lord and Savior, and without him there is no other. They know that, but not the majority of them. But they're about to figure it out when the Antichrist, that who they think is their God, who they think is Jesus, that came to rule them, steps into that temple and claims himself to be God. They're going to realize, wait a minute, this guy is not the Savior. And they're going to realize, those that pierced him are going to look up and realize who he is. There's only one way to heaven, literally only one way. And there's only two groups of people spoken of in the Bible that are going to heaven, and that is the bride, and that is the tribulation saints. So, we're in a very high watch time. I want to encourage you to keep watching and hang in there. I think that I'm going to make as many videos as possible all the way up until, I don't know. I've been watching for a very long time, and this is some incredible stuff that we're seeing right now. Some very incredible stuff. And in the morning, at 11:30 tonight Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be awake, and I'm going to be watching. And I pray, boy do I pray, I pray that every watcher has a pure heart and is looking for Jesus' return, it gets taken out of here, and then we're gone, and the new story, the new chapter in our eternal lives begin. Anyway, RepoMan64, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll put another link to the Discord. We had a lot of people come in there to the Discord, and go in there. Remember, when you're in there, to swipe your screen. We're trying to remind everybody, when you come in, you're in one of the rooms. There's a lot of rooms. Some rooms you might agree with, and some rooms you might disagree with. I like to keep it open for all points of view. I don't want to exclude any Christian just because they have a different point of view. The one thing that we say in the Discord is that everyone, and anyone who doesn't believe that Jesus Christ is God himself, and that Jesus Christ came here from heaven, left his rightful place next to God, and came down here, born of a virgin, started his ministry for 3.5 years. They took hold of him, and they hung him on a cross. He said, it is finished. He gave up the ghost. Nobody took anything from Jesus that he didn't want to give. On the third day, like Watchman Adams says, 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. 3 days later, he rose from the grave, conquering death. And he did that tomorrow morning, according to the Enoch calendar, the calendar that I've been paying very close attention to. According to the Enoch calendar, tomorrow morning is the day Jesus rises. How long did he spend walking around before he rose to the Father to receive his glorified body and return on the 8th day to Thomas in the upper room? It could have been 30 minutes. It could have been a couple of hours. I don't know at what time. Nobody witnessed him leaving. It's only recorded that they could not touch him. And then all of a sudden, the next thing we see is that they could touch him in the upper room. So anyway, RepoMan64, I think I covered everything. Go to a quiet place. Somebody said that. I was in the chat room. I forget where I was, Generation 2434 or Ken Potter's. I don't even know where that's coming from. Ken Potter's thing. But somebody typed it in there, and it really, really touches my heart. Go to a quiet place by yourself. Nobody needs to know. You don't need to tell anybody. Now is the time. The day is here. Accept the Lord into your heart and watch. Watch. He's coming. We're almost home. All right, RepoMan64. We'll see you later.